Listen, man, it's your boy Crypto Heavy coming to you live. Today we got something interesting we're gonna talk about. It's your crypto buy-in plan, right? You need to have a plan when you buy in crypto as a new investor. So, what you have to really fundamentally think about is you don't want to invest anything that you are scared of losing. Okay, let me say that again. You don't want to invest into anything that you are scared of losing. So if you know that you gonna invest money into this cryptocurrency and exchange, and then a week later you need to pull money back out because you invested too much or because you got to pay bills or whatever the case, you probably invested too much. So you need to come up with a game plan that will allow you to be able to grow your crypto portfolio without you having to go into it and dip into it. It's not a savings account, okay? This is your investment for your future. So this is what I did. When I first started with crypto, as I was doing research and getting buy-in from this asset class, I was just putting in $25. I figured $25 is something that I was not afraid of losing. Every time I got paid, I just invested $25 into whatever cryptocurrency I felt like I wanted to invest to at the time. I had like 5 different ones. I had XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, and Algorand at the time. So those were my 5 that I started with when I started my crypto portfolio. XRP was my biggest holding. I put the most money into that one, so I started building that one first. And as I started to get a little bit into that one, I started trickling down, learning more about different asset classes, different digital assets, and how they kind of work together. And that's when I started breaking down, different ones I wanted to invest into. So what I would advise you to do is pick three that you are confident in, that you have did research on, that you feel comfortable with. And I would break up, if it's $25, $50 per pay period, and just putting a little into each one of them. So the gift of that is that you're not overly doing it for yourself. You're not overly investing so that you feel like if it goes to zero, you like, oh man, I lost all my money. You don't want to spend your mortgage. You don't want to spend your rent. You don't want to pay your car payment on it because you think it's going to go up next week. It never goes up when you want it to go up. So you want to invest. You want to sacrifice things that you call a luxury. Like if you go to Starbucks every weekend or every day before work, then cut that out. That's $3 or $4 that you can put into your crypto portfolio. If you typically get your haircut every week, then maybe try to do it every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. If you consistently want to get your nails done or your toes done, then maybe you do that once a month instead of doing it every other week. So you want to cut out luxury things that you currently do that you can pull that money from and invest it in crypto. You got to sacrifice some of the luxuries that you currently have in order to invest in it, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to cut into things that you absolutely need. You're not cutting into your kids' daycare. You're not cutting into having food for your household, or you're not floating bills because you want to invest in crypto because somebody told you online that it's going to go up next week. You don't want to do that. That's not smart investment. You want to take your time, figure out which ones you want. Like I said, top 3 to top 5 that you feel comfortable with. And you want to invest a little into each one of them. They always say DCA, that's dollar cost average, into the cryptocurrency that you find the most use out of it. They got the most utility. They got the biggest upside to you, right? Because in the end, it is your portfolio and it is your financial thesis. And no matter what influencers tell you online, no matter what influencers say on Twitter that it's going to go to 10x or 100x or 1000x, no matter what chart analysts say that we are trending in the next month to go up in this bull run or X, Y, and Z, what you have to do is be stoic and be comfortable with your investment. And you have to understand that it could literally go to zero. And if it does, then you know that I invested nothing that changed my life, in the sense that like I can't live on my day to day. I have kids, and I made sure that I did not do anything that would sacrifice their way of living based off my cryptocurrency investments. So I knew that if it went to zero, I was comfortable, because I was like, well, I only put enough that I wasn't afraid of losing. I'm not a big gambling person. So like I said in my previous videos, so I'm very strategic about how I invest. And I knew that if it went to zero, I was comfortable with the money that I put into it. Would it suck? Yeah, it'll suck. But at the same time, it wasn't anything that I was that put me back or would change my lifestyle. I can still continue to live the same way I'm living, regardless if it went to zero tomorrow. You know what I mean? So like, you want to definitely not overly invest. You don't want to put yourself at a deficit where you feel like you needed to go up tomorrow, because the people that do that, they lose everything, because they jumping from project to project and they not actually doing the research. And you want to be able to be a long-term investor, because we don't know when it's going to go up, right? Nobody does. No matter what influencers say they do, they don't. But we don't know, because it's a lot of things that come into play geopolitically, with the cycles, where we are from a financial standpoint in our government, regulation. You know, it's a ton to go into it, not just it's a cycle of a bull run and it's going to go up based off of some chart analyst saying so. Like, we got to be comfortable with where we at and have a long-term view and know that you just putting a little bit in at a time. And when that day comes for it to go up, you will be ready, because you will been invested over that time period, knowing that this asset class was going to raise you and elevate you. So again, just to hit on the head, you definitely want to make sure that you got a game plan as far as DCN. You want to have your top 3 to 5 cryptos that you utilize, that you're putting money into, and you don't want to put anything or invest anything that's going to cause you to like not live the current life that you're living right now. Make some sacrifices, take away some of the luxuries that you currently do, and have a game plan as where you're going to use that money and where you're going to put that money. That's what I do. You know, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but this is definitely something that can help transform you, especially as a new crypto investor, into being able to get confidence and conviction in the projects that you put the money into, and not feel that anxiety like, oh, I'm gonna lose all my money. You shouldn't feel that anxiety. It's gonna be anxiety either way, but you shouldn't feel that anxiety as if you gonna lose everything based off of you put too much money into crypto, right? This is a risky asset, to be clear, very risky. You know, so you gotta go into this game plan, into this world, knowing that it's a risk asset and that the risk is from the top to the bottom. You could lose everything or you can gain everything. So that's why people love investing in crypto, and that's why we all here. So we obviously hope that we choose the right projects, but some of them may go up and some of them may not. And you got to be comfortable with that. You just have to be. So do your research and make sure that you have your game plan little by little, not all at once. All right. Till next time. Peace.